The rainy Tokyo morning started off fine, as I took the train to Tokyo Station and got to use my Japan Rail or JR Pass for the first time. Yes, I did pay for the green car upgrade because I'm bougie,
Welcome to the Shinkansen. This is the Hikari Super Express bound for Okayama. We will be stopping at
I had heard many great things about the Shinkansen, but actually getting to ride it is an awesome experience. Due to the maglev system, it's an insanely smooth ride, and it's easy to forget that you're going 300 kilometers per hour until you look at a fence or the ground. I spent the ride admiring the gorgeous Japanese countryside and being confused as to how I get better service in the middle of rural Japan than I do in some US cities. As we pass what Google Maps says is Mount Fuji, here's a haiku. Japan is awesome. I love Japan very much. It's snowing on Mount Fuji. For the next few minutes, I'm going to shut up and we can all kick back and enjoy the ride to Kyoto. During this quick stop in the cultural capital of Japan, I swung by a 7-Eleven for some more pancakes and some ice cream before hopping on my train to Nara. It didn't come with the wooden spoon gimmick leading me to find a vending machine, buying a Coke, and doing whatever the fuck this is. After a few bites, I discovered not one, but 2 wooden scoops that were in the bottom of the bag. This made the rest of the train ride infinitely better. Watashi wa baka desu. After playing a browsing game of follow all the other tourists, I finally arrived at Nara Park. I was greatly looking forward to Nara Park, and it is a cool place, but when you really start to think about it, there's some deeply worrying issues for the deer. They're constantly surrounded by loud tourists and obnoxious children, their food supply is practically non-existent in some parts of the park, and dwindling elsewhere due to the coming winter. They're near constantly force-fed these crackers, which I can only assume aren't the healthiest things for a deer. Seriously, do any of these fellers look happy? On the other hand, though, they do just kind of get to vibe with their friends, they practically own the place, and they don't have to worry about things like rent, or their baseball team being the drizzling shits. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? If my choices came down to being either of these fellers, or having to be a Rockies fan while also having to be a disillusioned wage slave for 40 plus hours a week, just to afford my basic necessities, I think I know what my pick would be. On my way out of Nara Park, I picked up this amazing yakitori skewer, and also some of this incredible fried chicken. What a way to end my time at Nara. After hopping back on the train and arriving in Osaka, my hotel for the next 2 nights was something a little more traditional. Like, way more traditional. Like, tatami and futon level traditional. I did have a long write-up as to how popular baseball is in Japan, but after being unable to secure a ticket to the Japan series between the 2 Osaka teams, I had to scrap that pretty quickly. I started my 30th birthday with a solid breakfast at Cafe Mag Namba, followed by more walking around before the katakana for cheesecake caught my eye. I bought a jiggly cheesecake on the spot. Unfortunately, it would have to go in the fridge until later. After forgetting to book a reservation in Tokyo, I was happy to find that there was a location in Osaka, so I still got to hang out with the micro pigs on my 30th birthday. I am fully aware that there are plenty ethical concerns with places like this, but from what I can tell, the pigs are well taken care of, and much like the deer at Nara, don't have to worry about rent, bills, or garbage sports teams. Sure, the moment they're not small and cute anymore, they get shipped off to become a nice bit of tonkatsu, but if you asked me if that was preferable to the constant financial beatdown of everyday life, I'd actually have to think pretty hard about it. The smaller pigs were adorable, but there's something about having the big offensive lineman pig cuddling up to you that just makes it better. The Meat Pig Cafe also happened to be in the middle of a fever dream called Amerikamura. Amerikamura is like if a Japanese person walked into a shopping mall in the late 90s and made a whole area of Osaka to recreate that feel. I wandered around and was very amused at some of the stuff I saw. Eventually, I came across a sports memorabilia store that was so cool I could spend an entire video talking about it. As much as I loved that store, there was still so much more to see, so I grabbed some ice cream from the vending machine and made my way over to the legendary Dotonbori. I walked around for a few more hours and discovered many cool things, including this Kobe beef kushiyaki, which was easily in the top 3 best things I ate on the entire trip. I walked around a little bit more before once again my permanently sprained toe decided that was enough of that for one day. Seriously, this right here is the joint, and this is the toenail. Be glad I kept my sock on for that demonstration. Now a comparison to my other big toe, which I've also sprained a few times. Luckily, you don't need toes to enjoy a good old-fashioned birthday dessert. Y'all remember that jiggly cheesecake from earlier? Well, let's give that a go. After picking all of the raisins out and noticing that it was significantly less jiggly than before,
So, we jiggling or?
I went down to the hotel lobby to heat it up in the microwave and brought it back up.
Come on, y'all, commence to jiggling.
After goofing around with it for way too long, I finally took a bite of it. To be completely honest, when it was hot, it literally tasted like air and felt like nothing was there when I did. After throwing it back in the fridge overnight, it became a much more enjoyable experience. Anyway, allow me to demonstrate Google Translate's camera feature while digging around with the remote-controlled lights. Oyasumi nasai.